Good morning. I'm using my cell phone video camera feature, and this is the Heathkit IT18 in-circuit, out-of-circuit transistor tester that I bought at the ham auction for $7.50, and it's in real nice shape. However, I'm going to show you why I don't really like working with transistors, because they're too damn small and too hard to find the emitter, base, and collector on some of the real tiny ones. Now, I have some real old ones here, and I tried to test them on this. This is my, let me get a little closer here, sorry if the video is a little shaky. This is my collection of miscellaneous transistors and diodes, and it doesn't look like it's too clear right now. I wonder if I'm in focus. This is a GE FET1, had that for many years. 1N82A, I think that's a high frequency UHF diode. GE FET2. Okay, but the question is of these type of transistors. I can't see with this phone here. Let me see if I can get real close to this. If I can. Probably can't. See if I can turn that around a little bit here if I don't lose it. Almost went on the floor that time. My eyes don't pick that up. I got to use my lighted microscope eye lope. But these type of transistors are very difficult, if not impossible, to find the emitter, base, and collector on them. They're just too small. I had all I can do back in the 60s and 70s to read these, and now I've got some other ones here. I got to do it off camera here. I can't look through the camera. It's very misleading. Here's another one. Now, these to me look like germanium. But when I clip the leads on these little guys, and I flip the switch over here to PNP, nothing happened. When I put it on NPN, I got some deflection. But I got the book on this, and I'm still not quite sure how to use this thing here. I like my TF26 Cricket, and that's why I bought that, because it can identify the leads on this. I pulled out a couple more. It's a diode. We don't need that. Okay. Here is one here. Now, this is what I'm used to looking at. But even that is way too small. It looks new. But I got to look at that under a microscope, but I can't make that out. It's just way too small. It amazes me that people can work with these small things. I can't even see what I'm doing. So I never liked working with transistors. They're just too damn small. The kind I used to like working with are these guys right here, because you can see plainly with the tab. See that tab on the left-hand side right down there at the 7 o'clock position? Well, that's emitter, base, and collector as you're counting over, okay? And these are the type of transistors I used to like to horse around with to make those noisemakers back in the 60s and very early 1970s. But these type of transistors here, which as I said look like, where am I here? PNPs, just by this, in other words, PNP and germanium. To me, that's what they look like, where this type here looks like a silicon transistor. I'm going to get one of these transistors has a number on it. And I do have a transistor manual that I got off of eBay last year, which I can look up. But the problem is identifying the leads, which is emitter, base, and collector of these type of transistors. You could read that any direction. In that triangular pattern, there is no identification mark. There is no tab to identify it. So these type of transistors that were not marked, I never used for anything. I just had them accumulated. Some of these things came from bargain things that I got maybe years ago from Polypacks. You remember Polypacks? And places like that. So, and Olson Electronics, you remember Olson Electronics? So, some of these, I think this bunch here came from one of my viewers who sent them back to me. I think it might have been Radio Man 56, I believe, Bill, I think, sent these to me a couple years ago when I first set up my shop. Because not all these are ones I've owned. So, there's just a bunch of collection of stuff that I'd probably never use. But here's another one of them little jewels here. Well, I'm going to get these on my lighted microscope right here, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, this is a JAN 2N293. JAN is a Joint Army-Navy. Okay, these are not marked. But the problem with this type of transistor is you don't know where the emitter, base, and collector is because there is no identifying tab on these transistors. And I think a lot of these are probably rejects, and that's probably why there's no markings on these particular ones here, whereas this one has a marking. So we're going to take this one, and before I do that, I'm going to look it up in the transistor manual. I'll do this off camera and see if I can identify it and test it in here. 2N393. PNP, made by Philco. SW, I'm not sure what that is. It don't say whether it's a germanium or not. It just says the use. SW, I don't know what that is. Alright, it don't say whether it's a germanium or not, but it is a PNP. So we'll go set that up and test it. Let me first see if I can see a basing on that. Nope, it don't give a basing. All right, on this one is a red line. And that might be the emitter. It couldn't be the collector because see how the triangle is? In other words, if it was emitter, base, and collector, this middle lead should be on the top, not at the bottom. So you turn it this way, so that should be the emitter on the left, base in the center, and collector to the right. So we're going to connect up the leads here to that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm all hooked up here, and it's a PNP. Like I say, I'm not sure how to use this thing. I really should look at the book, Calibration and Test. Now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to hold this down and turn this. It's actually a two-handed job, and I'm not going to set this on a tripod because I don't have the little mount. It's in the house. So, I might have to do this off camera. But it is a PNP. I have it hooked up correctly, as far as I know. But this is why I don't, one of the biggest reasons is transistors are just too hard for me to see. But I did want to make this video just to show you that, you know, some of these transistors are interesting here. And, you know, trying to figure out this thing, how to use it. And I really should study the book. I do have the book printed out. And I have to keep referring to it in order to see how to use it. So I think I'm going to do that off camera. I'll be right back. What I have to do is turn the beta control here. Getting an awful lot of reflection off the thing here. I can't see it. Until you get it to the calibrating position. Okay? So that's what I wasn't doing. So you got to read the book, you know? I've never used one of these. I've always used the Cricket. As a matter of fact, in my old shop, I had a Super Cricket. And the Cricket I've got is the TF26 here now. I like the Super Cricket better, but at the time I got this, the Super Cricket was very, very expensive on eBay. I think I paid $30 for this. And the Super Cricket would identify the leads, so it was, you know, very easy to use. Trying to move you slowly here so you don't get seasick or motion sickness. Okay, so now it's telling me, all right, I'm going to read this off of, see if I can read this through here. Maybe I can. Okay. Turn the plug to the calibrate position. Okay. Now, place the polarity switch to PNP position and turn the beta cal control. I'm going to do this offline. I can't read through this camera. I can, but it's tying up video time here. Okay, are we recording? Yep. My hand over the button here. Okay, so we adjusted it. It's on calibration. We hold down the test button. And we're reading a beta of a little over, little under 20. A little under 20 right there on the top scale. I think I'm in focus. I'm getting a lot of reflection here, so hopefully you can see that. Here is your readings for your type of transistor, RF and RF. RF and IF type of transistor. Typical beta range 2 to 50, power transistor 10 to 100, and audio 40 to 400. So we're sitting pretty good now. I'm going to have to read the book more to check for leakage and how they do that, because it didn't involve this switch at all. They're telling me to test it, but then they didn't have me move this switch whatsoever. It's not on the listing. Anyways, I've got a lot of studying to do on using this because I've never used one of these before, and Since I got it from the ham auction, I have not played around with it at all. It was sitting since I put the battery in and tested diodes with it, and that's as far as I got with it. So, okay. So anyways, I just wanted to give you this little transistor video here, just for what it's worth. That and $1 or more in most restaurants will get you a cup of coffee. Thanks for watching, guys and gals. We appreciate you stopping by to the Blind Tinkerer's Workshop.